the modern world getting worse and worse, people need a way to cope their way out of the pain. In comes travelling. People are jet-setting their way across the globe, spending thousands to escape their problems. But in doing so, they create a whole new problem in itself.
India's not all poverty and urban chaos, mate. Well, obviously it hasn't been here because it is, so that straight away that's annoyed me.
One thing we can all do is sit back, have some me time, sweaty, go on YouTube, you got your bald and bankrupts, you got your backpacker Bens, showing you how garbage the world is. The thesis is that travel broadens the mind and you go around, you experience different cultures and you become more socially aware as a person. I couldn't disagree more.
It's starting to feel like the Steve Merchants of the world. They go to the nice parts, don't they?
I genuinely think travel broadens the mind.
And now the internet's fully exposed that the vast majority of the world is garbage and isn't worth seeing.
Or he's about to. Oh, he's about to. Oh, nice.
I agree. Yeah, what I like about Bald is that he's very open. He goes to these places, he's very friendly, he's very nice, and he still sees the worst side of it. I've seen dead cows in the street. The latest video that caused a load of controversy, there's dudes doing big poos on the train tracks, and then there's people arguing saying you haven't seen the wealthier parts of India. He's gone to the parts where you see the true version of the country, which a lot of people say they do when they travel. That's a big thing with travelling, isn't it? To go off the beaten track. They go off the beaten track, and then look how Bald and Bankrupt is rewarded.
Travellers love sticking it in your face. No, I'm not. I'm no tourist, mate. I go off the beaten track. Well, let's go off the beaten track for 2 minutes.
I go to the places where tourists don't go because I want to experience the true part of the country. I'll throw this Top Gear clip in now of the boys just talking away and they're just being surrounded and ogled. And bear in mind, they're just 3 middle-aged British dudes.
All out, or just immediately do? I think.
Why would you not immediately? I mean, the motorway was built as a sort of free-for-all, wasn't it?
Oh, you seen that video?
The woman on the beach.
The woman on the beach. I was going to say the one of Bald and Bankrupt where he's on a little ferry going across the Ganges. He flips the camera and there's like 10 people just death staring him. You seen that one?
No, we'll get it.
Oh.
What I like about Bangladesh is people just stand in front of you and stare at you. Let me turn the camera around. Hey guys. That's what happens. They just stand in front of you and just look at you.
Yeah, and it's like it's okay if you're Bald and Bankrupt. He's 6'5", big lad. He's
funny guy. He's open. He's going to handle himself. Yeah.
If you're a 5'4" hippie with complete delusions of how the world works, there's a snobbery as well when it comes to travel. People who say that they go to these places, venture out to somewhere in Asia or they go to somewhere like South America, and they like hold it like for us in the UK. A lot of people go Mallorca, Benidorm. I imagine it's the same in places like America where you go.
They left Mexico and
Cuba,
Miami,
places
and
like
that. Yeah.
So they're there all day, and people look down on it. They're uncultured swines. Yeah, but at least they know what they're getting. They're going away once a year, and they just want lounge out. They've had a tough year graft, I think.
Seen them? Look cool.
The liberal hippie ideology, isn't it? I want to go and be free. The sort of the van life mecca. It's the motto of I want to go and be free when I travel. I want to experience the world through how the locals experience it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to be free in my £20,000 mass-produced transit van.
Yeah.
Nothing says freedom like that.
Not a lot. People use travelling as a personality trait where they've got the plane wing emoji and all the different countries they travel to in the bio, or the Instagram feed is just different colours of different places they've been.
You've got permanent Instagram stories now, aren't you? So
yeah. So your flex can be held. I think that people fall foul of using travel as a personality trait. I think anyone with a passport can go book a flight and go travel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But to use it as a flex, a personality trait, I don't think it's worth it to do that. That's what a lot of people do it for. They do it for the flex.
I think it's funny how much certain life lessons are applicable to one thing. We mentioned this in the previous video about the gym, and it works the exact same.
Go watch it, please.
Works the exact same with travelling. If you're doing something as a hobby, as a distraction, listen, man, there's a whole movement online at the minute of saying everything's a cope. You're allowed your copes, as long as it doesn't go too far. It's when your copes end up becoming your personality. If you're travelling a couple of times a year, you genuinely like where you're going, or you just want mong out for a bit, yeah man, chill. But when you're coming back, like say, why have you got a plane emoji in a bio? You're not playing.
You are not playing.
Oh.
What have you thought of?
I just thinking to the other week, I can't explain to you how many times.
Anecdote inbound.
If you go to somewhere which is Like, I don't go to stush places. I don't see...
Dubai's, let's say.
No, I mean, if I go somewhere in Europe, I don't go like the stush rooftop bar or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you go somewhere that's even somewhat nice, you'll see loads of people, it's mainly young girls, because obviously that's what Instagram's geared towards. You'll see young girls go in to somewhere like a rooftop bar or a rooftop pool. They won't even get in the pool. They'll take a photo shoot for 20 minutes, and it's like, that's not even a highlight reel. That's just, it's just fake.
You haven't even enjoyed it. Well, you've seen those plane photo shoots where they've got half a plane and people take pictures on them to show that it's like a fake private jet. You've seen them, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's what it is. You come back from these places, you're exhausted, aren't you? You've been on a cramped plane. You have to do a lot of mucking around, don't you?
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, does the common man really enjoy it, and is it really worth it? That's why they go on these sort of package holidays where you can go out.
That's why I understand the package. Unless you're somebody who really, really loves like architecture and paintings and the culture that you're going to. As a flex, it's like, and we've never been anywhere that's further than 2.5 hours away on a plane. No. Imagine that you've had to fly to somewhere like Thailand, and you're getting think about
9-hour flight, and you've got 20 bags, and it's
think about the bus situation when we went Barcelona and how horrible it was. Now imagine that in somewhere like Bangkok.
Yeah, we stayed probably 10 minutes outside the city, and there was one bus major into the city centre, and that bus was wall to wall full of people all the time. You couldn't get a seat, and we had to do it with bags, and it was hell. It half put me off going into the city.
Yeah, but it all comes down to you've got Instagram followers to please, and you've spent if you spent $2,000 on an holiday, chances are you aren't going to come back and start telling everybody how it was. You can watch your bald and bankrupts and these backpacker Ben types and slag off certain places, and I'm on board with that. But if you go any capital city in the world, you've got all the problems that cramped city living brings. Every city I've been, I've seen rats. You can't get away from that.
Rats homeless. As we said in the intro, that travellers use as a cope quite often. And I can think of a lot better ways to cope your way through life's problems than to go travelling. Because you're only putting off your problems by a week, 5 days, do you know what I mean? You aren't actually addressing the problems, you are sidestepping them.
Yeah.
And
like that Seneca quote. You are basically modern day Seneca, mate. I'll put you I'll put your quote on screen, people are like, this guy's a genius.
I had no idea I was quoting him either. That's how smart I am. That was in the memory banks.
Yeah.
10 petabytes.
That was in your memory. You've not even read it. That was that was an ancestral memory.
Like it was. It's been passed down. Yeah. I love Liver King. Sidestep life problems, and there's a lot better ways to do it. Even more so, just address your life problems. If things are bad at home, try and do something about it. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to getting on a plane, catch flights, not feelings.
Everybody, when they go to these major cities as well, they've got absolute horror stories. So many guys, I don't know if this is a problem in America alone, but I know of 5 people who've been to New York max, and I know 2 of them have been robbed and forced to buy mixtapes. Now,
I know the same guy.
Yeah.
I know the same guy.
Let us know, is that an American thing? Is that a New York thing?
Like Hamza with his hammer. I had to sleep with a hammer by my bed because I was scared for my life.
Yeah, City Life's based.
Mint, innit? Filthy Frank about 10 years ago made a video basically covering what we have. Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. The same points still stand. Travel's always been kind of mid. Now, if this has been the case for 10 years, then clearly we're just 2 dudes ranting at a camera. We're clearly brain rot. Get used to it, sweaty. We're here to stay. If that's something y'all can vibe with, let us know.
Let me know if you guys can vibe with that, and get ready, because I am.